How's it going, buddy? Just waiting for a few to join, and we'll go ahead and start and talk about what we just did. So, you could see behind me, Hidden Forest Cabin, Hidden Forest Trail leading to the Hidden Forest Cabin in the sheep range here. This is the same area where Kenny Veach disappeared. So this is an old cabin that's been out here since the 1930s. And like I said, I'm gonna wait to start talking for some other folks join, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, looks like we had a couple folks joining, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This sign behind me, you can see the Hidden Forest Trail. So basically what this is, yeah, thanks for joining, Woodchuck, I knew you would. This is basically a trail to a cabin that was built supposedly back in the 1800s. Some people say it's in the 1930s. And it was built by an individual who lived way out there in those mountains. And where he lived was about 5 miles from this trailhead. And it was a hell of a hike. Yeah, 5 miles out there each way. So it was a 10-mile day both ways. Now this individual who built the cabin, you can Google Nevada Hidden Cabin, Nevada Hidden Forest Cabin. Thanks for joining, Casey. Appreciate it. Yeah, Nevada Hidden Forest Cabin. You'll see the video, the actual video, in about a week. It's going to take me a while to process everything. So here's a little bit of history. Historians believe that the game warden cabin was originally built in 1931 or 32 and used by hunters, trappers, and prospectors. I did make it to the cabin, and Dick, I'll tell you what, it was cold up at the cabin. Right now it's not too bad, but I've got full cold weather gear. There was about 6 inches of snow on the ground, and once I got inside the cabin, I thought I was gonna get frostbite. My fingers were starting to get waxy, and I just wolfed down my lunch and packed up and left. But as long as I was moving in this cold weather gear, I was fine. So I've got a military issue Gore-Tex jacket, military issue Gore-Tex pants, and Matterhorn boots. And underneath I have a polypropylene top, and I think it's a Reebok cold weather gear. Thanks, Dennis, appreciate it. Cold weather gear shirt, so I'm perfectly fine. I've got glove liners. I've also got snowmobile gloves, so it's been fine out there. But again, look around. This is the desert. It's cold. Up there 5 miles, if you can see the snow in the mountains, it was cold up there. I mean, I was trudging through 6 inches of snow, and it was tough. It was uphill the entire way. So the video should be ready. I'm hoping. Yeah, I've heard hidden. Yeah, thanks, Brian. I saw the message there. Now you're on the subject of hidden treasures in the cave. So one of the things I was looking for out there was, there was a rumor a long time ago that somebody found a cave packed with electronics out there. And I did find a cave out there. Did it have electronics? No. There was a couple little pocket caves, but with the snow, it's really tough to see the land features. But the rumor that I heard online was there was a cave out there packed with electronics that the military came and later took everything out of. But at any rate, it was a tough hike. Now, when I came here this morning, there was a car parked there. It was a four-door sedan. I'm thinking, what kind of person drives a sedan out here? And on that note, I'll give you a sneak peek of the video. When I was driving out here, there was some guy in a Dodge Challenger. I don't know why he drove his car out there, but he actually tore the front of his bumper off, and you'll see it in the video. But yeah, this guy, why would you take a car like that out here just to walk your dogs? It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, he had his Challenger out there with the front bumper torn off because they say high clearance vehicles only, but the car that was parked there was a Lincoln four-door sedan, and they made it no problem. But it was clean. It wasn't dusty, and it rained last night, so I knew it was overnight. So I checked inside to make sure there was no body in there, and then I hiked out there, and I actually did run into the folks that were in the car, and you'll see that in the video. But it was a tough hike. I'm tired, but I could probably do another mile or so if I had to, but I was just afraid that something would happen. I get caught out there, and my goal was to get back at dark, and you could see it's starting to get dark, and I'm back. But I'll tell you what, it is no joke out there. When I got inside the cabin, and the cabin's really cool, by the way, there was provisions in there. There was a wood stove. There was a little bit of food and things, but you'll see it in the video. When I got in the cabin and took off my gear, my shirt, I was sweating, and that was making me even colder. My hands were getting really colder. Hey, Crypto, thanks for joining. My hands were getting cold, and like I said, my fingers started feeling like they're getting a little waxy, and I thought I was going to get frostbite or something. but I just ate the food as quickly as I could. I put my gloves back on, and once I started walking, I was fine, no problem. I kept warm. Now this military issue gear that you see on me, you may wonder, why am I wearing a full set of camos? Well, this is the same gear that I was issued in the U.S. Army about 25, 30 years ago, and to this date, it's still the warmest gear that I have. It's a Gore-Tex shell. It's got a liner inside, and yeah, it did its job. It kept me pretty warm out there, I'll tell you what. But yeah, this is it, and that's the entrance right over there. And it was a pretty monstrous hike. So the video is going to take me a while to go through it because it's just raw video. So I got to put it together into something somewhat interesting, and you will see that. My goal is to have it out Friday, probably 5 p.m. Central, not Central, 5 p.m. Pacific time is when I usually try to post these videos. In the meantime, if you want to find out about the Hidden Forest Cabin, you can Google Hidden Forest Cabin, Nevada, and there's a lot of information on it. It's a really cool place, and it's owned by the Department of the Interior for folks such as myself that got caught out there and need a place to stay. So yeah, it's a cool hike. Did Kenny Veach come out here? You know, honestly, if he was in the area, more than likely he did this hike. It's a fairly common hike. Thanks, David. Appreciate you joined. It's a really common hike. Other areas Kenny hiked was Gas Peak. Hint, hint, hint for one of the next videos. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it. So yeah, I do want to go to the top of Gas Peak for one of the videos because I know Kenny was out there, and I've got a few other places to go as well. There's an old cave that I saw on a map that I want to check out. On my Lost Mine video, I think it was, and even another one, I saw what appeared to be a pile of rocks, like somebody buried a cache of something there, and I just didn't think anything of it. But I got home and got to think, is there somebody buried some treasure or something there? I don't know. It's really hard to say. So I didn't dig it up at the time, but I'm thinking I should have. So I didn't put in the video because I don't want anybody to know exactly where it is and dig it up. But I will do an entire video of me going out there and digging it up. It might be a dead pet, it might be nothing, or it might be a piece of treasure, who knows. But at any rate, you'll be along for the ride once I film it. So that's about it. It's getting chilly here because it's getting darker. You can see the sun is going down. We've been out here since about 9 a.m. and I'm ready to go back. So I appreciate everybody joining. Again, the video, Hidden Forest Cabin, will be posted Friday, barring any unexpected issues, and it should be a really cool one. There was some really deep snow I had to trudge through, so it was really cool. Again, thanks for joining. Thanks for your support on the channel, and I'm here because you keep watching. And everybody stay safe and take care.